it's Kevin Benedict, Mobility Analyst, reporting this week live from Las Vegas at SAP's TechEd 2012. And I have the privilege of spending time this afternoon with Ingo Piroth, who's the Vice President of Mobile Services for SAP in the Americas, right?
In North America, that's
in North
right, including
America.
Canada.
Okay, there you go. Let me ask you this question, Ingo. We've interviewed before.
Yes.
We've had discussions before. What's different this year? What are you hearing customers ask that might be different than years past?
I think in years past, most of the conversation centered around some of the plumbing involved around mobility. So what do I need from an infrastructure perspective? What do I need from a COE perspective? How do I manage this ever-evolving and chaotic environment? And we've kind of realized that while we have to focus on an excellent way of implementing those nuts and bolts, the conversation's really now turning towards, well, what do I do with this stuff after that? And that revolves specifically for our organization around custom content, mobile application development that is all custom, comprehensive application that have more than one contextually relevant business process flow kind of coming together in a mashup. So the type of applications that you see from SAP at the tail end of 2012, and certainly what we're throwing a lot of focus into in 2013, are far more comprehensive applications than the typical productivity workflow kind of stuff you've seen in the past. So we're pretty excited about it, and it's really the difference between a business transformation conversation versus a just can you get me mobility up and running easily. And that's a transition we've seen through all of our most largest customers.
So how does a large multinational company try to put together an enterprise-wide strategy? Where do they start?
That's a good question. I'll tell you that we have customers along multiple different continuums here. Some customers are obviously still in the space of looking at securing devices. Again, what kind of infrastructure do you need to scale and so on. But I'll tell you, even customers that have done some work in that space come to me with the following proposition. Ingo, I've been doing mobility for 12 years. I've got 3 or 4 different point solutions. I've got lots of different types of technologies I'm deploying. But I can't scale because now the business is coming to me saying, how can you be part of the business strategy moving forward? And in that scenario, what kind of platform stuff do I need to do, and how do I create some sort of due diligence and governance model around developing a mobile strategy? And in that particular frame, while we have some customers that are reaching some level of maturity for that, we actually have sets of services that work all the way from one-day workshops through to 6-week engagements that help customer really define, say, a 3 to 4 year playbook moving forward.
Ingo, are you hearing any clients ask for the combination of like social, mobile, analytics, and cloud?
All the time. In fact, this is probably the biggest conversation at SAP right now, and I'll give you a concrete example of that. Let's say you're a utilities company, and you've heard of smart grid monitoring of the electronic metering and so on. Well, you're getting data from a million different data points, and you're going to need HANA, or a fast way to process that information in real time. You need to put the information in the cloud so that you can access it anywhere. Mm-hmm. But unless you actually put business analytics on top of that so you can make sense of the data and ultimately present it on a mobile device so you can take real-time action for it, you've really got a partial solution. So that, if you like, confluence of all the components SAP brings to bear, and certainly customers are thinking about, really means that a mobility strategy these days is no longer just a mobility strategy. It's really a far more comprehensive way that companies are looking at this space.
So how do you see, in particular, social and mobile working together in the enterprise?
That's a good question. I mean, the lines are blurring really in general, I would say, between enterprise and consumer type applications.
Right.
And the best enterprise applications that we see are ones that include components of social and consumer grade kind of technologies as well as enterprise. So if you think of a salesperson that needs to collaborate with their team or get real-time information from other people in the field about pricing and so on, well, if you look at it just from the context of an enterprise application that is allowing you to do CRM forecasting opportunities and so on, without a social context, both internally at the customer, but I would say even more so out in the market, how do you take that information, aggregate it, and make it presentable in a mashup for the customers in the same space? So that's an example for sales services,
yeah.
Salesforce, for example. But in the B2C space, we see that a lot too. So if you're bringing out an application that allows I don't know, customers to look at scheduling of, say, buses, and when is my next ride coming, those kind of things. You want to incorporate some social networking into that so that you can communicate both in terms of other customers that are doing the same thing, or that the end user has a way to interface with you as an enterprise and provide feedback on their experience so you can react to that in real time. So we're seeing all sorts of points where those two things are coming together.
Ingo, I want to thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Until next time.